Greetings. My name is Oladile Dosimo, and my wife.
Kennedy Small. How are you guys doing?
Okay, welcome to another spiritual awakening. Today's topic, as you can see on the screen, there is we're just talking about why do Africans still follow the Western morality and ethics? Why do we Africans still follow the ethics and morality of the Western civilizations? And this is the perspective I'm coming at because I wrote an article about this today. It's something that kind of bugs me when I look at how we Africans operate. The morality and the ethics of the white people that we know it. And I'll break it down.
Mm.
These are the people that go all around the world to steal, destroy, rape, and extract resources. They never go to any place as equal partners or equal people. They always go to impose themselves over people to actually take and steal and destroy. This has been the pattern the moment these people came into Africa. They introduced colonialism.
Mm.
They through them we had the transatlantic slave trade. So this is the morality of Western civilization. And for some warped way of thinking, we Africans are upholding those standards as ours.
Yep.
So the question then is, what does that make us? So sometimes, because I write a lot and I do a lot of stuff, and people who know me know exactly what I do. But I'm always thinking, and thoughts always come into my mind, and it just dawned on me. It's that the standards, the morality, the ethics that we follow, which is all Western, because basically every African country basically follows the ethics and morality of the white person. So that means if you followed their thinking, their morality, their ethics, that means what we follow right now in Africa is flawed, because the basis of it is basically flawed from the beginning, flawed from the outset, because it's based on corrupt.
It's evil.
Yeah. Okay. So Candy said it.
Yeah.
The evil. Basis of it is evil.
It's evil. Let's just call it the way it is.
And then for some reason we are upholding that evil.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why Africa is not working. Because basically the people that came to us are evil people. They imposed the evil on us. And now we have people who are upholding that evil on their own people.
Yeah. We're doing a good job of that.
Because basically the systems that we follow in Africa were imposed on us, the evil. The education that we follow in Africa were imposed on us is basically evil. The education is, because there's nothing African about it. The religion that we follow is evil because it's not, people say it's not evil. But if you look at the way I'm looking at it, everything that we've copied from them is not authentically ours.
It's not working. It's never worked.
And if you look in Africa today, the majority of people are suffering on our continent. So how can you, with a straight face, tell me that the Western morality or the Western systems that we copy is not evil, when the majority of the people that are following the system or the imposed system on is not benefiting from it and struggling? When we're talking about systems, when we talk about ethics and morality and systems, whatever we follow, whatever we do has to follow a particular path where the majority of people are benefiting from that system.
Yes.
If the majority are not, and only a few people benefit, then you know that the system is flawed. It's basically not working.
Mm-hmm.
And this is basically, like I said, I asked the questions. Why are we following the imposition of the Western civilization in Africa when Africa, before Western civilization, that was the foundation of we were basically the original civilization. We had our ways of life before they came. Africa never lacked before they came. Our system was not perfect because I was never there. But based on what we had compared to what we got, look at where we are today. If only they left Africa alone to find its own path, we will not be destroying, killing, and raping like they do. But for some reason, as miseducated Africans, we're following the systems and we don't think nothing of it. We think it's okay to follow a system that's working against us. Candy.
I mean, isn't that so funny? I mean, what you mentioned regarding when the colonizer, the master came, well, we call them the
The colonizer.
colonizer, yeah. When they came,
Massa.
how many moons ago? How many years ago? How many? Is it thousands?
No,
or-
no, they came in the 1800s, basically.
So that's over, well,
I'll say about 200 years.
200 years
Yeah,
ago.
Over 200 years ago.
Okay, and up till date,
Even longer than that. But then,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
up till date, no African has ever actually kind of sit back and just think for a minute and say to ourselves, okay, something is not right here.
Mm.
The system that you call the morals, the capitalism, the everything that you mentioned hasn't been working for us. But none of us actually have ever actually sat down to think for a minute and say to ourselves, let's be true to ourselves. Why are we still continuing
But
with this?
but you know why it's still continuing?
Mm.
Because the colonizers educated us.
Yes, even with that,
Mm.
I mean, even with the education, like you said, you just mentioned that the education is not even working for us.
Yeah, but they educated us. So we're thinking like a Muzungu. We're coconuts.
Yeah, but I would say if something is working, maybe remember I used to say to her, I said, if they actually brought out this education, they brought this education to us, this curriculum. If it's working for us, maybe I won't even complain. But you can tell it's blatantly obvious that none of these things are working for us. The education system is not working for us. There's no jobs, because we are from Nigeria, so that I can actually talk from Nigerian perspective. That the doctors, all these people are actually coming. Some of them will become a lawyer, doctor, engineer. What do? They want to jackpot.
Yeah, because
They want to come over
that's,
here
but that
to
goes
get a
into,
job,
but that,
because
Kenneth,
there's no job in Nigeria
Kenneth,
as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a maybe
yeah,
few.
but Kenneth, like I said, we were trained to be useful to them, not to us.
So why don't we see that okay, we were trained to be useful to them, so we were trained not to be useful to our continent,
Yeah,
our
because
own.
the curriculum is still English.
This is sad. So I don't get this, and this is where critical thinking comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to think anymore, and like we said, all these people that are following the Western system, Western morals, all these things, some of them are gaining from it. Some of them are actually getting something from it.
But that's the reason why the system is still the way it is today. Because
as long as the few, like you said,
people, they're benefiting.
are benefiting from it,
Yeah.
they're okay.
Yeah, that's
so they will tell you, oh no, it's fine. This is the education.
But the funny thing, the irony is the fact that the people that uphold the system, the most are the ones who benefit. So and those are the ones that are in your government. Those are
no, those ones in government, those don't even have a clue. They're not even educated. They don't even know what they're doing.
They uphold it because they benefit from it.
Oh yeah, they uphold it, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but they don't have to know what they're doing, but they're upholding it because they benefited from it.
Okay, they're getting something.
Yeah, they got some crumbs from it,
yeah.
so they're gonna benefit.
So
and then you have the academics as well who benefit from it as well, because they have access to coming abroad or whatever. So obviously they can uphold it because, like you said, why would Africans in 2026
I'm telling you,
still uphold a colonial curriculum today?
that is not working.
That is not working for our benefits. That we're still training. We're still training. We're training our young kids to be useful in the plantation fields and not used for ourselves.
And so many of us, unfortunately, they can't even afford to send their kids to school. The ones that can, they will have to do, if you know what these people have to actually go through to get money to send their kids to uni, to school. Even some can't even feed their kids, but they will still have to make sure they get those kids to school. So I'm thinking, okay, at the end of the day, these people, they graduate from uni, but there's no jobs. They end up becoming a Uber driver or Keke Marwa,
Let's not get away from our topic, though.
Yeah, sorry.
Morality.
Yeah, but it's still part of it. Yeah, it's still part of what we're talking about. So, but the main thing I wanted to actually focus on before I got distracted was actually the religion side of things. That we're talking about morals. Like I said, I used to think, when I was young, that okay, the only way to know how to think, do the right thing, to be a good citizen, is to actually read the Bible, because that was what we were taught. Even our grandmother will actually refer you our parents, our grandmother, grandfather will refer you to the Bible. Before you can do anything, that you have to read your Bible.
The Bible said.
Bible say this, the Bible says so. So you have to go to the Bible to even think for yourself. So I'm thinking these very people that actually brought the religion, Christianity to us. How come don't we have our own culture? Don't we have our own religion? Don't we have our own spirituality? What we actually uphold then before they came. But now it's as if the culture that we have is intertwined. So we have to kind of go now. If someone wants to get married now, they have to say, okay, you have to do the white wedding. There's no traditional, mostly traditional wedding now. Luckily, most people are actually, some people are doing it now.
Yeah.
But you have to definitely, the only way they could recognize is to do the white wedding.
Which is basically a distortion.
It's
a distortion.
Yeah, white wedding.
It has nothing to do with us.
Is the godly way. So you have to be, godly. God has to approve of your marriage. That's the only way. If you don't do the white wedding, God is as if God is not going to approve of your marriage. And these are the things I got confused of. I'm thinking, okay, white wedding, culture, is it our own way of life? Then I realized
how does that relate to morality and ethics then?
Yeah, but that's part of what we're following. We're following all these things, thinking that this is our moral, this is what we're meant to be doing, because this is what the white, so should I call it white?
Yeah, the Muslim.
Or the colon, the Muslim, kind of impose on us. And most of us now are following that pattern. None of us want to even remove ourselves away from it. That this is it. Like we just mentioned about the curriculum. So all these things, I noticed that over the years we're just getting more and more into these things, and none of us question it. None of us seems to understand. Even like you said, do we even know where this thing came from? Until later on, when I start questioning things, I'm like, okay, hang on a minute, this cultural thing, this religious thing, is it what we used to do in those days? Then I realized this is a white man. No, this is not. Yeah. This is a Western culture. This is Western morals. And the morals we are following now, they're not even working for it. The morals are morals of, okay, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Basically, it's greed.
It's not unifying us.
It's basically it's individualistic.
So it's not even the morals that we should be upholding, because Africa now, I see most people now, they don't even care about one another. Yeah. All they care about is money, the capitalism that you said that they came to impose on us, the materialistic things. You have to be somebody. You have to be able to, you have to go to school. You have to do this. You have to be well educated. Even your parents will tell you before growing up, or you have to be you have to do this, you have to do that. You have to get a job, 9-to-5 job. You have to, be part of the so-called education system. So, but none of this is working for us. Like we just said, Africa is actually going backward. Yeah. And this is so sad. I don't know when we're going to wake up, when we're going to be honest with ourselves and say, no, enough is enough. This is not working for us. Let's start from scratch, which none of us, should I even ask you, is it possible Africans can start anything from scratch? Can we do that? Can we start our own curriculum? Can we start our own education? Can we start our own system, way of life?
We can.
Spirituality, all these things.
We can start it. We already have it anyway. We had it, but we got deviated from it. So the question is, can we get back to it? And then the question then for me is, where do we start? Because most of the systems that we follow today is basically borrowed.
Yes.
And most of our so-called academics are basically guided by the colonial curriculum. Yes. So that's all they know. Uh-huh. So if you're saying them to go back to something that we did, most of them haven't got a clue what that looks like. So that's basically where we need to start looking at going to the grassroots, going to our elders who still have some kind of wisdom of what it used to be like. Because every so often I speak to my mother. She's 85 years old. And when I speak to my mother, I try to pick her brains and say, okay, how does this thing used to be like before the white people came? Or obviously the white people are already there because she's 85. Yeah. But what was it like? Because it wasn't compared to what it is now, it wasn't as bad then. So what was it like then? And she would tell me, oh, this used to be this and used to be that. And things were used to be okay. Because in those days, Nobody, like Kende said, nobody was materialistic, nobody was ostentatious. We basically had everything we needed,
That's
and we
it.
lived off the land
Yeah.
without looking
At
outwards.
your neighbor, you know, that okay, this is what they've got. So I want
And then the imposition of capitalism, colonialism came, which is basically a moral decay on the consciousness of the African people. And the moment we embraced that, we lost ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
We basically lost ourselves. And this is, and you know, look, guys, look at the world today. Look at what Trump is doing. Look at what they're doing in Iraq right now, Iran right now. Then try to impose themselves on Iran because Iran say no, go away.
Yeah.
They were in Venezuela. They imposed themselves in Venezuela. You know, these guys have been going around the world, basically imposing themselves on these places, basically, and the only reason they're there is to take and extract resources.
That's what they're all about.
That's the only morality they have,
Yeah.
to kill, steal, rape, and destroy. And yet we Africans will see, I've seen Africans defend these people. I've been African academician. I'm in groups, and every so often I get kicked out of groups because when I challenge, they feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How can you defend what's absurd and not
What
normal?
is evil? No,
And what's evil, but you think is okay? So we Africans need to start thinking differently. The way of the Muzungu, the way of the Oyinbo that was imposing us can never get us or free us.
No.
Psychologically, mentally, spiritually.
Because
It's distorted.
It's never the right way. No.
It's flawed from, like we said from the beginning, it's flawed from the outset.
Yeah.
It's evil. And you guys say your religion, the thing is that your religion doesn't even give you the inkling or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The discerning spirit.
No, they don't even know the meaning of that. I think
Your religion doesn't even give you the discerning spirit to tell you
that word around without even knowing
to tell you that what you're doing is not okay.
Means. They're just thrown around for.
You're in a church. Majority of people are in poverty. They can't afford to send their kids to school. They can't do these things, and people don't see that what you're doing is not even helping, because what you're following is an imposition of the West. We had our spirituality, and our spirituality is inbuilt in us. You don't have to look outwards.
It's an inward thing, yeah.
It's an inward thing. It's your consciousness.
Yeah.
It's your intuition.
Yeah.
It's everything around you which guides you and guides whatever you do.
Yeah, it's your higher self. Yeah.
And then you have to go away from yourself to look outwards to find spirit. Then you have to read a book.
Because that is what religious taught us. Christianity.
But that's what Christianity taught you.
They taught us that we have to look into the Bible to know what is right from wrong.
Whereas a kid,
To know
that a kid that's never read a Bible knows right from wrong.
They know we know when they're lying.
The kid knows when they've done something. At least
wrong.
kids have never read Bibles. Just look from a kid's viewpoint. A kid knows right from wrong. When they've done something, they know they'll be hiding, and they've never read a book.
Yeah.
And then you, grown up person, then have to go read a book.
You can't think for yourself. You don't know how to act. You don't know that something is wrong. But like you said Christian, the word discerning, they don't even know what that means. Because there's so many things happening in churches, and when I used to go to church, I would look at so many things. I'm thinking, well, these very people said they're so spiritual, the woman of God, man of God, deacons and deaconess or whatever, and they can't even discern anything. Nothing. They know that evil is actually operating in church, and none of them could discern that.
But it's kind of fun that you said that, because if you look in the churches, the politicians that steal money, they bring it there to give tithe and offering.
And they know these things, and they will
and they get the discerning spirit to tell them that this money was taken from the money that's meant to benefit majority.
Majority of the citizens, yeah.
Or the pastors or GOs,
knowing full well,
they will take the money.
Yes. You don't even need a discerning spirit to it, if it's common sense. And most of we just said it, that you have this built in you. You know what is right from wrong.
You do.
You know the discerning spirit is built in you. You know all these things that most of us want to go into the Bible to check before we think. It's already in you. So you don't need no pastors, no Bible or whatever to tell you how to live, how to operate in life, how to live a good life, how to be good to your neighbors. So, but unfortunately, this is what is it you call indoctrination? Yeah. So this is what we were given, and
Okay, how do we get out of the indoctrination though?
the only way is to just throw away the religion, just throw it away.
What
And
about the education?
the education, we can actually, like we said, we could start our own.
We can build our own.
Build our own. But the problem is we do not, Africans do not want to start anything from scratch. It's as if we're so lazy. We don't want to start our own system. That's why I was saying to you that why can't we just start our own system way of, like I said, before the Western came, we have our own system, isn't it?
We had our ways.
We had the ways. I'm sure we have our own way of life.
Don't forget, because we are the original civilization.
That's it.
And the West came to Africa to learn everything that they know today. They came to learn from us. So we had it.
From us.
And then they imposed what they regurgitated, or what they stole, or what they plagiarized. They regurgitated it back to us.
Plagiarized, yeah. And
now,
knowing,
and basically, and that what they impose on us basically it's taken away from who we are.
Yeah.
Because they put their own stamp on it.
That's true.
Yeah, they put themselves on it because of what they've learned, and then they took it back and then brought it back.
It's as if they stole, then they resell it back to us. It's like they refine it.
But don't forget,
Oyinbo
are good at rebranding.
They're rebranding, yeah. That's it. Rebrand.
They're good at rebranding.
Yeah.
And that's basically where
they will take your stuff and sell it back to you.
Yeah, because
package it well.
Yeah,
they're very good at packaging.
They're good at that.
Yeah.
And then they'll, and that's basically then they gave us colonialism. They gave us capitalism, all the isms that never worked for Africa. And guys, just look at 2026. Look at our continent today. Over 90% of our people are in poverty.
Yes.
If there's any metric.
Yes.
There's any metric that you need to actually gauge where Africa is today. Just look at the poverty level on our continent.
That's common sense then. Do we need
it's common sense.
Any prophet to then say, oh, this is what the Lord say? It's just common sense. It's blatantly obvious. It's actually there.
Must we, as Africans, keep following the same system that's not working for us and keep digging into that same system despite the fact that it's detrimental to our collective well-being?
Yes.
Where's that critical thinking gone?
No, we don't want to think anymore.
It's so easy for us to copy and paste anything they give to us, but instead of us actually building for ourselves, build Afrocentric systems that are working for our collective benefit, we don't want to do that.
And when we copy and paste it, we're not even doing a good job. I've told you, I said, even all the cut and paste, we're actually making it worse. Nothing is working. So that shows that we need to throw it away. We need to throw away the system, the education, their morals, because their morals is not even, they're not moral. They're evil.
These people are immoral.
They're
immoral.
When your enemy, how did they put it? Slap you in one, turn the other cheek. Yeah, what kind of nonsense is that?
Don't forget.
No wonder they use those there with so-called religion, so-called what they put in the Bible to actually, take us away from our land.
Yeah, they had
put it in the Bible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, slave, obey your master.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually that they use the Bible, like Mapunga was saying in one of the clips we just watched. That no, it wasn't even. I was watching a video where they use the same Bible. Basically, it was a clip that I watched actually, where the slave dungeon was down the bottom and the church was at the top.
Imagine.
So they were praying to this same Jesus as they were taking our ancestors as slaves.
As they were brutally killing, raping.
The same Bible that we Africans,
but there was church going on upstairs,
Guys,
and people are not.
We were never Africans. Africans are not meant to be Africans because Christianity has nothing to do with us. No. Some of people would say it was in Ethiopia. Even Ethiopia, it came. They brought it to us.
They do.
They brought it to Ethiopia. It was never. Christianity is never African. Our ancestors lived without Christianity or any. We basically, our spirituality is within us, and we had our ways.
Yes.
Imperfect as they may be, but they were our ways because the Oyinbo ways were never perfect. But they brought the imperfection on us, and they took what was perfect for us or was okay for us. They took it away from us.
They took our spirituality away from
So
us.
our spirituality is
Everything
gone.
that they said we worship the gods.
Yeah, basically
worshiping
anything that doesn't, everything that doesn't,
we're idol
no,
worshippers.
everything that does not fit into
Yeah,
to their way of thinking, they take it away.
God that they create this God in their head.
And in 2026, we Africans are
And they
not.
sell it to us. They sold it to us, and we just carry it.
We're not willing to
like
do the work to change what was imposed on us, and we're letting our next generation follow the same trajectory. What legacy are we leaving behind if we don't do something different now?
And sorry, if all these things that, like you said, that they brought to us is good and it should work for us.
Yeah,
that's why actually that okay.
Easy.
When did these people came? Over 200 or whatever years ago, and this is 2026, and none of these things that they actually came to sell, that they sold to us, none of it is working.
There's no truth.
Are you telling me that we have this so-called very educated people, DDD, PDD, or whatever they call them, and none of them wait to just say, okay, I'm gonna let's just think for a minute.
It's basically there's no truth in what we're doing.
No.
And then we Africans have become the gatekeepers of the lies.
Yeah, we are, and it's as if we love things the way they are. We're so passive. We let things slide.
We're aspiring. We actually are aspiring.
We don't even want to know
to get into the lies.
As long as few of us are okay, with whatever's going on. Because we're getting something from it, the benefit, the little benefit we're getting from it.
Let's round this up, guys. And guys, it's me and you.
Yeah, two of us. Yeah. Okay, so what do you want
to? Final words.
I don't know. My final word are just like as I've said earlier, that we just have to through this education, religion, the system, the way of life, the morals that the so-called Caucasian, brought to us that's not working for. We just have to throw it away. I know it's going to be hard. I mean, it's easy said and done. I'm not going to lie to you, but
we gotta start. We have
to start from somewhere, isn't it?
We gotta start. Because things are not working.
We have to start from somewhere. If we keep kind of our company just accommodating these things, then we wouldn't start anything. We wouldn't say, okay, let's start something.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my own.
Yeah, I'll say this, and I'll say this over and over again. If something's not working, you need to basically reevaluate, review, and change.
Yes.
And like I said, the metrics is Africa collectively. Just look at the poverty. That's my metrics. I cannot look beyond that. If a system is working, majority of people will benefit.
It'll be okay. Yeah. At least.
If we have the right morality and ethics, majority of people will benefit from that system. But the fact that majority of Africans are in poverty tells me that the system that we embrace is not working for Africans.
And evil is reigning every day.
And evil is reigning because we become evil against ourselves.
Against ourselves, oh gosh.
Basically, and the irony and the paradox is that they give us these evil systems. Now we become the evil gatekeepers against our own brothers and sisters. Gosh. We basically copy the evil from Oyibo.
We've mastered it as now,
Through everything we do, now we copied it because they didn't have it. They never had it. Oyinbo people have been evil from the moment we knew them.
And that's why they came to Africa.
And that's how they came to Africa, because they have evil intentions. And then now we Africans are now carrying those evil intentions into our homes. We'll do anything, whatever means necessary, just to be relevant in this system of illusion that they've created for us to fit into.
To be rich, to be wealthy.
Guys, it's time for Africa to change, because doing this is never going to get us. It's never going to get us. It's time to get back to Ubuntu. Agbajowo la fin soya. Ajejewo ko gberu dori. That means we need to come together, build together collectively in unity to make Africa work for us. It's about time to start doing the work now, because we have kids, grandkids who are coming. What kind of legacy
think about them,
are we leaving for these?
Yes.
Thanks for watching.